Hey, hi everybody. Happy Friday to you. I'm Margot Freitag, and this is your Friday Fuel. This is all about plant-based nutrition and how it relates to health and wellness. I can answer all of your health and wellness issues and questions. If you are interested in plant-based nutrition as the guiding force, this is your place to be on Fridays at noon. It's Good Friday, and I thought that it would be a really important and good idea to talk about some of our things that concern us around eating over these festivities, these holidays where there's lots of food and things that really don't serve us. We tend to get into things that we're really not part of the plan. And, you know, I'm sure you can think of some of those things, chocolate being one of them. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is how we lose touch with our hunger signals. So, you know, we have our body's pretty amazing. We have these amazing signals, and our body tells us exactly what we need. But we lose touch with that. And then we think that our body is betraying us, or that we are not, we're not in sync, we're not in harmony with our bodies, and our bodies don't cooperate, and we gain weight, or we feel hungry and we don't want to eat. It's not in line with what we're trying to do, or the kinds of food that we're eating isn't in line with what we want to do. And so, you know, there's a lot of things that come into play here, but something really interesting, Julie Simon, in her book, The Emotional Eater's Repair Manual, she talks about how these signals can be messed up in childhood. Like if our emotional needs aren't met in childhood, that we turn to food to get sort of to satiate those basic signals, and these might be cravings that have to do with emotional well-being, just comfort, and, you know, soothing ourselves. So, you know, that made me think of something. It made me think of how often you see a mother or a caregiver pacify a child or a baby who is crying with, you know, a bottle or a soother or a candy. And it just makes me think that, you know, some of these issues might arise super early. Like we tend to soothe ourselves orally from a really early age. We're taught that. We're taught to ignore the other things that we might really need. Like maybe that baby who is crying is uncomfortable or unhappy or needs to be held, or maybe there's something else going on. And, you know, we tend to pacify it with a pacifier instead of taking care of the actual need. So the question is, what are the other things? There are obviously other things that occur in our lives that impact our hunger signals and our ability to be in tune with those hunger signals. And I just have a few here. Like I have 6 that I wanted to share with you. The first one, obviously, you know, because we're talking about nutrient-dense food all the time here, it's kind of the driving force behind a lot of things, and this is one of them. If you are eating nutrient-deficient food, then, you know, not long after you've eaten, your body is going to send out a hunger signal, because even though your caloric needs might have been met, your nutritional needs have not been met. So, you know, you think, why am I hungry again already? Well, maybe it's because the food that you ate wasn't nutrient dense. Hey, Bobby, thanks for the heart. Nice to see you here. Thank you. The other thing is cultural and family messages. I mean, when we're growing up, how often did you have a parent tapping the side of your plate saying, you know, finish your meat, or, you know, you can't leave the table until you clean your plate, or there's no dessert until you've eaten everything on your plate. So, you know, this is something that we learn early on too, that we have to ignore our natural feeling of being full because we have to finish everything in front of us. The other one is extreme dieting. If you're a chronic or extreme dieter and you're in that yo-yo flow of, you know, extreme deprivation and then just overwhelmed with hunger and sort of going into that binging mode, it just completely messes up your natural signals and your ability to tune into that. Highly processed and junk food. Well, we know that, you know, sugar, salt, and oil, these things create or you know, elicit a dopamine response. And so that dopamine response makes us feel good, and so we ignore the fact that we really don't want any more, or that, you know, we don't want anymore, our body doesn't need anymore, we are getting a dopamine release. And so we tend to continue to eat those foods even though we're already satiated. The other thing is high stress. If you have a high stress life, or if you're, experiencing anxiety, these things can also play a role in ignoring your hunger signals. Maybe it's just like you don't eat when you're under a lot of stress, or maybe it's that you just eat too much when you're under a lot of stress. And then there are other things like food sensitivities, just having a sedentary lifestyle, sitting around eating because you're bored. So these are some of the things that really come into play when we're wondering about our hunger signals and why we aren't in tune with them. So think about these, and I encourage you to be aware. Just like when you are going to eat and it's not mealtime, take a moment and ask yourself, am I hungry? Am I really hungry? And if you are, then good, eat something healthy, make a healthy choice. Especially this weekend, because it's going to be crazy this weekend, you know it. So you have to have an awareness that you're not in touch with your hunger signals, and then you have to pause. Just pause for a moment, take a minute, reflect on what it is. Hi, Geraldine. Where is my business from? I'm in Canada. I'm in northwestern Ontario on Lake Superior, and yeah, I'm Canadian. I'm glad you're here. We still actually have a little bit of snow on the ground. Hard to believe. Anyway, so yeah, reflect on whether or not you're really hungry. Take a moment, sit with that feeling, and ask yourself, did I get enough sleep last night? That can interfere with your signals. Am I stressed out? Am I feeling anxiety? That can interfere. Did I eat nutrient-dense food the last time I ate? Because that's going to play a role as well. Where are you, Geraldine? Lots of snow there too. Thanks for sharing that. That's great. So make sure that this weekend, especially this weekend, take time to focus on your hunger signals, tune in, and be aware. And then pause. Once you're aware that you're hungry and it's not mealtime, ask yourself some of those questions. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you get through the weekend and moving forward. Make sure you eat lots of nutrient-dense foods this weekend. Try and get lots of sleep and be in tune with what it is that trips you up as far as being in tune with your hunger signals. I hope that helps you. And hi, Christine. Good to see you here. All right. Take care, everybody. Happy Easter. And we'll talk to you again next Friday. Bye for now.